Hello everybody, this is Debbie from Stamps and Stuff in beautiful Lake Havasu City, Arizona along the Colorado River. And I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator based out of Lake Havasu. And today I am going to stop by here and show you a nifty little technique. It's called direct to rubber. And this is the card we're going to be doing. Now, as far as the particulars go, you won't have to worry about any measurements or writing any instructions down, because after the video, if you go to our website at stampsandstuff.org, you can download a free picture tutorial, and it'll be, this is a copy of it. There'll be photographs, instructions, and then you will have a supply list of everything that I use to do this technique. So you don't have to worry about writing anything down. You can just enjoy the video, and then if you like the technique, go on over to our website and download. You can, there's a little here right in the post that you click, and it'll take you right to the PDF, and you can just print it off. So anyway, let's get started here. If you need any supplies, you can click on the supply list on any of them. It'll take you automatically to my online store, and you can purchase them there. So anyway, I appreciate it. Also, if you would like, share, comment, or subscribe, all 4 of those actions get you in for a drawing. We're drawing again on the 1st for another paper pumpkin kit. And as things move, we will begin to have more and more drawings. So I'd like to have at least a weekly drawing, or perhaps after I really get rolling, I'm just getting started here, to have a drawing with every video. So that's kind of what's on the horizon, but I need to get going with the videos, learn my equipment, learn how to pace myself. Now, I've been teaching classes for over 20 years, used to own my own stamp store, scrapbooking store for many, many years, and retired from that. But I'm at home in my studio, and I do in-person classes here. But the internet came a-calling, and here I am. So anyway, let's get started. Now this card is going to use Prize Peony, and this is a really good set for I'm looking over here and making sure my output is okay. I'm just learning how to work this program. Anyway, this is a distinctive set. In other words, the artist has put enough accents in, and it really looks more distinctive. That's why they have the name. But anyway, they're much more realistic looking. Tend to be more like a photograph than they are a stamp. So it's a really good set for this this technique. So anyway, the Prize Peony, I'll be using, here's a card for one of the verses, and it is a really cool just all over sentiment stamp. We'll be using Peony Gardens designer series paper, and I've used quite a bit of this, but there are tons in here. I need to get into another one and get it clipped, chopped as they say. But anyway, very, very beautiful paper. I should get the ones that haven't been cut. Also, I'm using the Parisian Flourish. It is one of my favorite embossing folders. Of course, you can use whatever folder you would like. Then the dies with the Peony Sweet. And also, this is a die set that everybody, especially if they're a beginner, needs to get, is the ovals and squares and rectangles, because they are go-to sets that you're using all the time. So they are really good. Okay, let's get started here. Let me put this aside. Okay, first of all, now, what we're going to do is I've mounted this stamp on my block, and you can either go, this one I'm going to go a little more pink with. This card here I've done a little more peachy. So this one was Petal Pink and Grapefruit Grove. And this one that I am doing is Flirty Flamingo and Powder Pink. Yeah. No, yeah, that's right. Confused myself. And then I'm going Old Olive and Mossy Meadow. I'm going to use a blender pen. And then we will be using our Wink Stella. Okay, so what we're going to do here with this is I'm going to take my lightest color, and you usually, when you're going direct to rubber or you're doing any mixed media, especially if you've got something that can be contaminated by a darker color, you want to start with your lightest color first. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to, and what you want to do too is you want to color on the side. In other words, like this. You don't want to go like this, because if you scrape that up against your rubber, or if you're constantly on the tip of a marker, you're going to wear them out. Now you can still get into a fine area going on the side and coming into that area, but if you're constantly on the tip, your pens are not going to last at all. And I had, when I had my store, Tombo's was one of my favorite as far as an all-around marking pen. I had some of them that I had for 12 years and they were still working. So anyway, you want to take care, if you take care of your products, they will take care of you. So I need to get down here a little bit so I can see it a little better. I want to get as good of a coat as I can, and I'm not going to worry about the ink drying on the stamp. And I'll show you why later. And then I want to get this. There is a bud over on this side, and I want to get it. Then I'm going to move into my darker color, and I'm not going to go completely over it, but I'm going to catch it in different areas just to give it some highlights and lowlights. And then this one, especially in through this center here. Okay, then I'm going to take my lightest green, which is Old Olive, and this right here, you don't want to miss. Whoops, I got the wrong tip there. You don't want to miss this one on the side. If you'll notice in my tutorial, I went ahead and I did that pink. So that will be a reminder. In fact, I made a notation in the tutorial not to miss that little one. Okay, now I'm going to go just a good base coat on the leaves and the stems. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to go with my darker Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to go up through, kind of through the center, and where the leaves come together and one petal is over the other one, there's usually kind of a shadow in there, and there's a shadow, would be more shadows here when this is behind the leaf, I mean behind the stalk. And then I'm just going to give it along one side, I'm going to give it a little mark. Okay, so now we've got the ink on and it's all dried. What to do now? Now is where you huff. And huffing means basically you're going to exhale on it, and your moist breath is going to wet it back up again. So and then you're going to put it down, and it's very important that you give it an opportunity to have that ink absorb into the paper. So don't just put the stamp down and immediately pull it up. Okay, so there we go. And basically this is what we have. Isn't that pretty? Where if you're trying to stamp, you're generally stamping it in black and then you're coloring it in. Now, here's where the blender comes in. Now, with this one, I took and I just blended it off, and now this ink is still a little bit moist. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this blender pen and ever so lightly, I'm going to just blend just a little bit of this green. I'm going to pick it up and kind of blend it into the leaf. Just a little bit, not a whole lot. And now this is not watercolor paper, so you don't want to get all excited and do a lot of messing around with your marker, because this paper will eventually ball up, and because the moisture will cause it to come apart, because it's not a watercolor paper. Okay, now with your blender, you want to run it on a piece of paper till you're not showing any marks, and you're good to go with your next color or whatever. Now these blender markers will get a little bit, you might notice just a little bit of staining on the tip, but that's fine, because as you can tell, as I'm moving this along here, there's nothing there. So you're good to go next time. Okay. Then what I'm going to do here with the Stella is I am going to just put a little bit on the flowers. And this, again, you don't want to get the Stella running, because this is not watercolor paper. So you probably, I don't know if the camera is going to pick that up, but you can see it in real life. You can see it where it is shimmering. So that's basically the technique. And then what you're going to do is you are going to cut it out, and voila, you have this. And I'm going to, I didn't do this one with Stella, so I am going to do that right now. Because everything needs a little bit of Stella. Now this is another place where I'll show you. See this stamp? It's got that leaf there. This one, I got all excited with my pink, and I colored the leaf pink. So there's a flaw in the card, but you know, we all do that. Okay, now I'm going to put the card together, and I have inside, I have already mounted, see how beautiful that embossing folder is? I've mounted the background, and then I am bringing the front to the inside by putting this little strip here. Then what I'm going to do, okay, wait a minute here. I need my gray granite. And what I'm going to do here, this is two-step stamping. I'm going to stamp off because, and when you do two-step stamping is when you want something to be really faint, kind of in the background. See how faint that is? You're going to notice it more when you put the sentiment over the top, right over the top. So this, I'm switching it up a little bit. In the front, I have stamped "Life is better with a friend like you," and on the inside, it will say, "I can't begin to count all the times we've laughed together." And again, that's in this "Here's a Card." And there really is some cute sentiments, really cute. It's all messy: the hair, the house, the heart, life. On that thing you did, I'd give you a standing ovation, but here's a card instead. Happy birthday, I made you a card because you're worth it. You made my day. Thanks for being my friend. Thanks. There are some sympathy sentiments. I'm here if you need me. Let me see. I can't begin to count all the times we've laughed together. And then there's a cute saying. It says, "Mostly because numbers are hard." Isn't that's cute? So anyway, what we're going to do now is I am going to pop this up with dimensionals. Love my take your pick tool. It's probably ranks as one of the top little gizmos that I have. So then I'm going to put this in here. See, I'm going to change the inside. This one is left blank. A lot of times when I make a card, I leave them blank. That way I can change them from a birthday to whatever occasion that I need, and I don't have to remake a card. Okay, so this one is going to have this inside where this doesn't have anything. Okay. Whoop, let me get this out of the way before I get myself in it, literally. Okay, now I'm going to put this right here. I think that looks like a stunning inside of the card. This, I'm going to mount it to its backing piece. My mom used to paint, and she always used to say, a good frame will make a lousy painting look good, and a good painting without a frame will look lousy. Okay, so I tend to do quite a bit of framing with my cards. So there's lots of layers in there. And I love this mono adhesive glue because not only is it a two-way glue, it's really good for mounting on the back. If you have a stamp that doesn't stick to a acrylic block, you can take this glue and you can rub it on the back, just leave it on the counter, let it dry, and it will tack up. And so it will be help you to mount to this, and it will come on and off just like this does. See, this has got a tack on it. And then when it stops tacking up, you take the stamp into the kitchen, you wash it a little bit under some running water, dry it off, and it'll tack right back up, and it will last for years. Years and years ago, that used to be one of the main purposes that we sold Tombow mono adhesive glue, was for, that was when everything was wood mounted and they were just getting into the unmounted stamps. So anyway, it is an excellent glue, and it is it'll hold you down to the card. Okay, now then what we're going to do here is we're going to put some dimensionals on this. And when I put dimensionals on, I tend to, especially when I'm popping up layers, I like to put something in the center unless they're close enough together, because paper tends to sag and you don't want any saggy bottoms. Okay, now I'm going to put this right here. It's kind of hard for me to see because I can't get in under that camera, and the angle I'm at, I don't want everything cattywampus. Okay, now I'm going to put this on. And because things are going through the mail, I want to make sure that there's good stability. You don't want somebody to open up a card and having it be all cattywampus. Okay, pull these off. Okay. Then I'm going to, let me get this on the other one first. That way I can get a better gauge on what angle I want it to go. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to put this right in the center. And now I can kind of get a better. Now this, I can already tell I need this because this is going to hang over. I want to have it over just a little bit. Okay. There we go. So we've got our card here finished, and we carried our theme through to the inside, and now we're going to carry it through to the envelope. So no naked insides and no naked envelopes. Like I say, sometimes I have a problem You always want to make sure your glue is covered up, and I have a tendency after I've had a class or whatever to just leave my studio and I come back later and get everything cleaned up. I try and get all the glue taken care of and the ink pads closed up, but it seems like there's always some, and then they give me trouble later. Okay, now I'm going to trim this off from the back. Okay, so there's our card, and there's our envelope. In fact, what we can do, I don't have the flirty flamingo. Let me go run over here and get it. No, I think, let me use the petal pink. Okay. Now I'm going to take this and I'm just going to stamp this one, and I'm going to have it go off the edge. Kind of adds a little bit of interest when you do that. Okay, so we've got that in the front. We've got that in the back. This one is our peach one. In fact, let me do this one. My Simply Chamois here. I love this. Really is probably one of the best cleaners there is. And believe me, you're listening to somebody that has sold tons and tons and tons of every kind of cleaner there was over the years. But that really is good. And I'm going to do this one in the Flirty Flamingo, because I think it will be just a little bit of pink, a little bit pinker. In fact, let me see how this is going to stamp, whether I want to do it first generation or second. Oh, okay, that's, yep, that's okay. Okay. Sometimes if you think something is going to be too dark, if you do it second generation, it lightens it up. Okay, so then we're going to put this with this one, and this with this one, and so we have the two. They're done just a little bit different. Okay, and I have some other cards here. Now these are classes that we're going to be doing in January. Now this is a sympathy card, and this is done with the same set. This is just such a versatile set. Now this one is done with that same set. It's only done with the dies so that you can make the flower, and this is a fun fold. This is a fun fold too. This one, we've used a lot of scraps, and I have a whole drawer full of different cards that we use different techniques with scraps. So don't throw away your scraps, because there's tons of really nice. Now this makes a nice card and a nice background. These are just the tailings off of, you know, other cards. And then we have this one. Now see, this one is colored in with markers after we stamped in a darker color, where this is distinctive. So that's kind of, I mean, this is your oh gosh, words are leaving me. Direct to rubber. See what happens when you get old? Anyway, so that's that one. And then this is another one, another little fun fold, a book fun fold. So we have lots of things that will be coming up. And if you're interested in taking part of in some of our regular classes. We do in-person classes here, but if you're not local, you want to contact me and let me know that you want to take a class. I can shoot you out a kit. What I can't do is I can't shoot out Stampin' Up's images, so you would have to have the stamp sets to be able to do it. But if you do, if you want to buy the stamp set, which another thing, if you are ordering, for every order of $35 or more, we have a free gift. Not only do you get a handmade card from me, but you do get a gift. It could be anything. It could be a note card set. It could be rhinestones. It could be anything, but you get a gift with that. So anyway, and if you'd like to join my team, now is a great time to do it. Now that we're going into celebration. For signing up, they have another little item that they've put in the kit that kind of sweetens the deal. For $99, you get $125 worth of product. You get 200 sheets of designer series paper, which is the same as 5 packs of paper. So that's like almost a $50 value right there. You get your first paper pumpkin kit. Let me see, is there anything else on that? I don't think so. And you get lots of perks for being on my team. I have a lot of things that are shared with my team that don't go out to everybody else, and they get then what classes they do take online or whatever are deeply discounted. So there's lots of perks, and we're a great community of stampers to join, and we'd love to have you in our group. So anyway, I appreciate your time, and I hope you have a great rest of the day. And if there's any stamp sets that you would like to see demoed, let me know. Put it in the comments. Don't forget to comment, share, like, subscribe to get into our drawing. And also, if you like, make sure you comment, because it's really hard to track likes, who was the one that liked it, to put you in the drawing. But if you make a comment and say, I shared and I liked, and you're commenting, then I know to put you in for 3. So that way you get your chance for the drawing, and good luck there. So I think that's about it, and everything looks like it's still transmitting. So anyway, have a great day, and be sure to let me know if there's anything you want to have demoed. So we'll see you later, and thanks for stopping by. Have a great day. Bye-bye.